it's hard, if impossible, to have truly close relationships with other people unless we can be authentic. If we're hiding a true part of ourselves from the entire world, we just feel isolated and alone. And we can't connect with people unless we can connect authentically. It's not an authentic connection if we're not being authentic. And I know this because I've lived in the closet before I left Michigan. And I knew what it was like to live in the closet, and it sucked. And then I came out and I connected to people because I got to see who I was authentically. And then I felt a sense of connection to those people that I could be authentic with. And then I moved around through the world, and in certain arenas, like the workplaces that I had, I was like, okay, I'm not going to be gay here because there's too much homophobia going on, but I can at least be gay in my social life and have like an authentic connection with people in my social life. So that fulfilled me because I felt seen. The real me was being seen by people that matter to me. And then I moved to San Francisco, and wow, I can be gay in the workplace and in my social life and everywhere. Wow, this is really amazing and really liberating. And I was that, and then I was here for 6 years living like that. Then I went traveling for a couple of years. And when I went traveling, I started hitting the road and like hanging out in youth hostels in Central America. And where I was hanging out, it was like mostly straight people, and they were young and just having fun. And I was like, oh, I'm on vacation. I just want to have fun with people. I'm only going to be here for a couple of days. They all want to go to a straight bar, whatever. I'm just not going to make a big deal of it. I just, without even thinking it through, it was like, oh, if I come out to a bunch of straight people, what's the point? It's not like I'm going to see them tomorrow, and it's not like there's anyone gay in the room that I can meet anyways, so whatever, big deal. I can just have fun and be like I used to be, just like compartmentalize myself so that I don't have to share that part with them. It's no big deal, I thought at the time. And then what happened was everyone I was meeting was having these great times with, and then they would be like, after a few days, like, wow, it was really great to meet you. Let's hang out again. And I was like, yeah, great. And then I realized later on, it was like, I wasn't really interested in any of the friendships I had made, until I realized the reason why is because I hadn't been authentic in their relationships with them. So while they were being authentic and enjoying my company, connecting with me, I had this barrier that I was putting up by not being authentic with them about who I am. So I was unable to develop a real sort of closeness or fondness to them because I wasn't being authentic. And after a few months, I just felt really, really lonely. I was on the road, and I was like seeing amazing places, and I was meeting amazing people, but I wasn't connecting in an amazing way because I wasn't being authentic. And so I just felt lonely and not seen, not understood. And then along the road, I met this guy who was just this flaming queen. He was this flaming Canadian queen who just like pranced around with fucking rainbows shooting out of his ass, and so gay. Like there was no hiding it. And for me, I was like, wow, you can be gay. We're in the middle of like Nicaragua and shit, and like you're just like prancing on the street like a big flaming homosexual. I was like, wow, that's ballsy. Is what I thought at the time. And, I got to know him and asked him about it. And we literally were in Peru, and he wanted to go to, he had this thing for fast food restaurants. Like, I want to go to McDonald's. I was like, okay. So we go into McDonald's, and like the Peruvian guy who's working behind the cash register is like, oh, do you like you're visiting Peruvian, Peru. I'm Peruvian. You guys are like visiting Peru. Oh, do you like the Peruvian women? And this guy's like, I don't know. I like the Peruvian boys though. And so the point is, like, this guy was willing to be his authentic queer self to whoever was around. He was not going to change any pronouns to suit anyone's homophobia. And that was really inspiring to me and taught me a lot. I was like, aren't you afraid of, like, getting, like, hurt or anything? And he said, no, I've never been hurt in any of these situations. I'm not afraid. Harvey Milk said, come out wherever you are. I realized I can't expect other people to treat me like normal if I'm not treating myself as normal. So I decided from that day forth, I was like, I need to treat myself as normal in front of these people. I need to model the way. So the very next day when I'm in a youth hostel, and this like cute straight English couple was being really friendly to me, chatting me about stuff, and I'm chatting to them about story of life, and I'm like tempted to go into switching pronouns to suit like, oh, they might not, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, my ex-boyfriend. And so I did. And of course they were very, respectful and responsive and like, oh yeah, whatever, my sister's gay or whatever. And I went out to a big dinner full of, and the hostels, it's like everyone gets together and like, oh, let's go out to dinner full of strangers from all over the world. And I'm just like, oh yeah. And then I lived in London with a boyfriend once who blah, blah, blah. And the table was like, oh, well, wow, people just conversed normally and it was all cool. And I remember thinking, oh, there's like one person at the table who might be uncomfortable. And I was like, well, if they're uncomfortable, let them be uncomfortable. I spent my whole life being the one who's like, I gotta protect everyone and like play a part for people to like, feel comfortable and stuff like that. And I'm the odd one out. And I was like, well, if the homophobe at the table feels uncomfortable, then so fucking be it. Let him feel uncomfortable. It's not my fucking problem. And then after that, I was able to like authentically connect with people. But what I realized is that it's a privilege to be able to connect authentically with people. Okay, like there's a lot of people who like are so hidden in their shells that they're not being authentic with anyone. And so no one sees or knows their authentic truth. And they feel lonely and isolated and upset, sad, lonely, angry, negative, horrible emotions. So my goal in life is to like help people like learn to be authentic with themselves and learn to be able to connect with other people authentically. And that doesn't mean that we can connect with everyone authentically, of course. Not everyone deserves our connection. Not everyone can be connected to. But we all need at least some people or a community of people that we can be authentic with, that we can be seen authentically. So if that rings true for you, I'll be available for coaching services to help people live authentically, to share with you how to take those steps that will help you find true, authentic connection with people where you can be authentic. And the point is that I can't be authentic with everyone. There's a lot of fucking dickheads out there. There's a lot of people in my life, my past, who just can't deal with it. And so some of them I can still keep around in my life on a certain connection that's not as close as it could be. But I also need to go and find connections where I can be authentic. So if you like laughing and learning for more love and sex and authentic relationships in your life, then hit the subscribe button for weekly content. Anyways, that's all for this week. Until next time, farewell and connect well.